Good evening, Biju sir, Monica ma'am,
Good evening.
everybody.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, Viju
How are
sir.
you,
Good
ma'am?
evening, Salam sir. Good
Good evening.
evening, everybody. All set, sir.
All set. Okay, thank you. So, hearty welcome everybody for joining and this particular session offered by Dr. Monica is about the general, essentials of planning annual academic curriculum. And it may have some reference to the curriculum or the syllabus released by CBSE of this year, but it is mainly dealing with the general essentials of planning a curriculum of a particular year. So, Madam will be guiding through all the key essentials and factors, and also you can also contribute to this, different areas she would be, discussing with. Reserve your questions with related to, planning, how to plan and do. And also, if you have any questions related to any aspects, we'll be trying to help you. Please reserve your questions, and at the end of the uh, presentation, we'll be able to answer you. I take this opportunity to congratulate everybody for joining, and we are going ahead with new approaches and new modalities, transaction modalities. So it is essential to know how to effectively plan annual curriculum for your school. We are trying to help you as much as we can. Also, we seek your inputs in between. You can put it in the chat box as well. So let us, put our hands together to welcome Monica Sharma. At the same time, I request Biju sir to introduce ma'am through a short video. Biju sir, over to you.
Sure, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to introduce today's resource person, Ms. Monica Sharma. Monica Sharma is a distinguished educational leader currently serving as educational strategist, curriculum and student development, Chandigarh, with a career spanning more than 16 years. She has cultivated an extensive portfolio of experience in both classroom teaching and strategic educational administration. Her leadership is defined by a commitment to academic rigor and a deep-seated passion for creating inclusive, high-standard learning environments. Monica's academic background is remarkably diverse, reflecting her multifaceted approach to education. She holds master's degrees in Hindi, mass communication, and journalism and education, (MEd), graduating in the latter with distinction, furthering her commitment to student welfare and social ethics. She earned a postgraduate diploma in human rights and completed a specialized certificate course in international child rights through EDX. Throughout her tenure, Monica has been a consistent advocate for pedagogical innovation. Her dedication has been recognized with several prestigious honors, including the Star Teacher Award for her instructional excellence and the Extra Mile Award, which underscores her willingness to go beyond a call of duty for her students and colleagues alike. As an educational strategist, she continues to bridge the gap between traditional values and modern educational needs, ensuring that every student under her guidance receives a holistic, rights-based, and globally conscious education. Hearty welcome, Ms. Monica. Please proceed. The stage is yours.
Yes, ma'am, you can start.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for such a warm welcome. I'm grateful. And I would like to express my gratitude to all the participants and special mention to Bintu Pillai sir and Salam sir for giving me this opportunity. And thank you so much for all of you for joining us all here. And I know that you have taken your time out and you are investing your precious time. It's very valuable. And believe me, you all, that by the end of the session, you all will be richer. So that's my promise to all of you. And It's going to be a wonderful session. Definitely, we are about to start with a new session, and whenever we are starting anything, so first of all, we should be very ready with a roadmap. We should be very ready and clear with our thoughts, what we are going to take ahead in future, entire year, what are we going to teach, and everything. As Sir just mentioned, that CBSE has already they have already communicated all the policies and everything to all of us. So the basics are very clear to us, and definitely now our time is this our duty, and of course it's our time right now to prepare for the full session. So this seminar is all about whatever we are going to teach, we have to plan it accordingly. As we know that we anything we want to be successful in, first of all our basics should be very clear, our concept should be thorough, and we should be ready with our I would say the magic wand, so that whenever we are going into the classes, we are very well prepared. And definitely it's not only the task of one person. There will be many I will say the combination of many tasks, and definitely amalgamation of many communities, I mean amalgamation of many thoughts will be there, so that we can execute everything very well. And whenever we will integrate with all different subjects, so we all will be successful. So well, before I start with my the PCP, just a minute, sir, I would share. Is my screen visible, sir?
Coming up, coming up. Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. It's fine now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are going to talk about a continuum of learning. Definitely, we know that learning is not only the task of one day, it's going to be for the entire year. And definitely, we are future builders. So we'll work upon that gradually. Well, before we go ahead with our PPT and I start explaining each and every slide to all of you, I would like to take all of you to two types of situations, in fact, two classrooms scenarios. So one scenario, classroom one, where the teacher on the very first day, she's very happy, she's smiling, and she enters the class. She takes the book, and of course, she's a teacher of English. She starts teaching, and everything goes well. So slowly, day by day, she's teaching everything, and obviously assessments are coming in between. Then the final whatever the curriculum is, she's following the syllabus, the content of the book she's following. So she's going ahead, and by the end of the session, say now it's March, so she's able to complete the syllabus. So she has completed the syllabus, but it's only the book are done, and the curriculum, whatever was designed by the CBSE or by the school itself, has been clear and done by now. It's finished. So syllabus is complete, but somehow she's lacking somewhere. Students are not getting good marks. Students are not satisfied. In fact, parents are not satisfied. She has not achieved everything, and students have not learned everything. And I take you to the another classroom, where the classroom number two, where the teacher on the very first day, she's smiling, she's very confident, and she is entering with her diary in her hand, and which we call the lesson planners also. She's entering and she's teaching everything. So day by day, she is also teaching, going ahead with the syllabus. Everything is fine. The assessments, the winter break, the summer break, everything is going on so well. So by the end of the day, she's able to complete two tasks. One is, of course, the syllabus. Syllabus is complete according to whatever been designed. And the another one is another task which she is able to complete it. Students are able to understand whatever she taught. So in the teacher number one, the classroom number one's teacher, she was just very confused throughout the session, because she was just following the curriculum, the syllabus, whatever was designed, and she's just blindly going ahead with the books and all that. But she never planned anything thoroughly. She never interacted with any other teacher. She never followed the footstep of HOD. Maybe HOD was telling her to do something. She did not follow that. She did not obey that. In fact, there was no planning. And the another teacher who used to come well prepared, she was very confident, and she used to teach very confidently to to the students, and students were also able to learn everything. So always we know that always we are going into the classes. So there are two type of teachers, as I mentioned just now. Those who are going directly with the books and just teaching everything, whatever comes to their way, they are completing the task. The other teacher who is very well planned, and of course does not have any stress on her head, and she is going ahead with everything clearly. So obviously, whenever we are starting with anything, so we have to plan everything properly. So that is why we go ahead with the annual curriculum planning, so that the entire year, whatever we are going to teach students, whatever the subject, or maybe amalgamation of 2 3 subject, we are going to collaborate with any other subject, art integration activities, value based activities, or any other what have been designed by the CBSE or by the school itself, the institution itself. So we'll be following that. We may have to include speaking skills, listening skill, and everything. It's not only completing the syllabus and just going ahead with the curriculum only. So that's very important. Now, when we move ahead, so how we are going to plan it? That's the first basic thing. It's not only that we sat with our diaries and we just thought of there are 10 syllabus, there are 10 chapters in English, and we have to finish 5 syllabus in term 5 chapters in term 1 and 5 chapters in term 2, and our task is done. No, our task is not done here. We have to manage a lot many things also. We have to improve the skills, and of course the basic skills are like in English, speaking skill, listening skills, writing skills, and lot many skills also. As we know that we are going ahead with skill education also, so we have to go ahead with all these planning also. So each and every subject will integrate with other subjects also. Maybe we'll take help and we'll take guidance from other subjects as well, from our HODs, from our heads, from the experienced person. So this is how we are going to go ahead about that. So it's all about continuum of learning is all about, it's not only one day, it is the planning of the whole day. And definitely today we are going to talk about the planning of from UKG to grade 10, because it's not that only for grade 9 and 10 or only for grade 6 onwards we plan everything right from the beginning. In fact, from the day that the students enters the classroom, I mean the smally ones, when they enter to this classroom, UKG, nursery, pre-nursery, whatever the classroom is, so we have to plan everything carefully, so that gradually, step by step, they are learning everything, and every class connects to the another class. Definitely, it's not only that one class they are entering and they finish the syllabus, and it's not linking to the other class. So that's very important. So we start with the PPT now. I'll start explaining each and everything. And as sir said just now, I would request all of you, in fact, to please connect with me via the chat box, whatever the queries, whatever comes to your mind. Let's go ahead, let's learn together, and let's grow together. So that's my request to all of you. So now on your screen, is my screen visible, sir? I'm just checking on it.
Yes, yes, yes. Very good, very
Okay,
good.
it's changed. It changed perfectly fine. So now on my screen, you all can see a picture, right? May I request all of you or whoever can access the chat box to please read, or to just tell me, type it, what you see on the screen. So this is my request to please go ahead. I may miss out on any I request all of you. A ladder, yes, very good. And what you see in that ladder particularly? Any observation? Explanation mark? Yes, that's a good observation. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I'm not able to read everybody's name. It's very fast, so I may miss out on names. But yes, I'm reading your whatever the replies you are sending. Ladder without steps. Yes, that's wonderful. And yes, no step in the ladder. Tanya ma'am, you have said it. Yes, ladder without the step. You're absolutely right. But can you imagine a ladder without a step? Where will you go? How will you climb on it? That's not possible. Of course, a ladder without the step is a wastage. It's just I'll just you have kept it somewhere, but you're not going to use it. So now on my screen, there is another. Is my screen moving, sir? Because here I'm finding
No.
it's not moving.
No, same. No.
Okay, maybe there's some technical error. I opened the chat box maybe because of that. I'll share the screen again.
Okay.
Is it moving now?
The ladder is there as before.
Error is there, but not the next picture is not there. I believe there's some technical issue. I'll share it again, sir. Maybe there's some technical issue.
Mm.
So anyways, while I'm sorting this out, you were absolutely right. When we see the ladder, we obviously think of a ladder whenever we are able to go up, climb it up on. So definitely it's of no use if we are not able to use the ladder. It's just, I'll say that the piece of wood or maybe a steel we have kept on one side. So it's of no use. We are not going to use it. Similarly, wherever we are planning anything and we are thinking anything, it does not have that, will not be able to execute that. So it's of no use. So that's why we are here with the curriculum planning as well. Is my screen visible now, sir?
Coming up, coming up. Same ladder is there. Next picture.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I think it's
Yes,
fine.
yes, yes.
So the next picture, thank you, sir. So the next picture, which is there on your screen, what it says, what is your observation on it? I request all of you to please help me out in that. Yes, yeah.
Missing steps.
One step is missing. Yes, absolutely right. I'm sorry again. I'm not able to read many, of course, the chat, whatever you're sending, the replies. But yes, many of you have guessed it right. It's missing. So again, if you really want to climb up on, you cannot just reach to your destination. Of course, you can't go up because you'll just go 1, 2 step or maybe 3 steps ahead, and after that you're not able to reach. So that's also of no use. And the next now picture on the screen, what it signifies now. Salam sir, I would request you or any other
Yes,
member,
yes,
I would
few
request you to
steps.
please help me with that.
Second picture, they are talking about a few steps missing, and last picture, I think it is perfect. It's a perfect ladder with a complete progression, no gap.
Yeah, there's no gap, of course. Thank you, sir. There's no gap anywhere. Definitely, everybody is comfortable. The girl who is climbing up, you can see the smile on her face, and she's comfortably going up, and definitely we will reach wherever she wants to reach. So that is why, if we are missing on any step, anywhere we are missing on when we are planning for the annual curriculum, anywhere we are missing on, we cannot reach to our destination. We cannot come out with our learning outcomes. So that is very important. So we have to plan everything very carefully so that whenever we are going ahead, so we go ahead with proper planning and step by step. So what is KCB? I have mentioned in my slide KCB. KCB is, of course, whenever it's all about knowledge, it's all about competency based, it's all about their behavior. We are not going to change only, or we are not going to impact the knowledge. We have to take the holistic development in our mind. So whenever we are planning anything, so we have to make the journey of learning for students as well as the journey of us of being educator, of teachers. So we have to make sure that it's progressing properly, no doubt maybe gradually, not so fast, but it should go step by step ahead so that everything is clear to the students and they are learning the learning outcomes, whatever we decide, which is really very important, cornerstone of every teaching, the process should be done properly. So early years, obviously we know UKG and till UKG, LKG, all that. So those are the basics. So obviously those also should be including in that. Then primary 1 to 5. I have taken it to 4 steps. So primary 1 to 5 or 6 to 8 and 9 to 10. All the classes. Obviously, these are the classes. These are the when we stagger the classes. So these are the combinations. So everything should be very clear, seamless, and knowledge skills should be imparted to the students so that whenever they are learning, they come out as best learners from that particular class. Now, what are the core principles of KCB curriculum? So obviously, as we know that whenever we are going to the classes, our main focus, whatever we are teaching, our focus is on students only. We never want teacher-centric approach. We want learner-centric. The student should be completely satisfied. They should grow. So that is the first and the core principle, that we should go ahead with the learning centric approach. And whatever we are going to teach, we have to make sure that that should be age appropriate, that should be learner friendly as well. So that's very important. So age appropriate and learner friendly approach should be there in our curriculum planning also, in our teaching strategies and whatever we are deciding on that. And concept clarity. as I mentioned in my story also, it's not that we are just going ahead with the syllabus, whatever we are completing with the chapters one after the other. There should be clarity of the concepts. Maybe we are taking a very small portion, just say one chapter in a, I'm just taking random, maybe 3 chapters in a term. But yes, these 3 chapters should come out completely valuable to the students. And whatever we wanted to teach, maybe we wanted to give values or art integration or subject integration, multidisciplinary approach, everything should be done properly. So that's very important. And gradually increase in competency. So we are not going to bombard students with our knowledge. Definitely we teachers are very knowledgeable, I'm sure you are. And but yes, whatever, we have to transfer everything gradually. So we have to go step by step. So accordingly, as we know, when CBSE has given us the curriculum accordingly, they also go step by step. So we also have to follow their footsteps and go step by step. So the students are very much comfortable in learning and the outcomes are 100% in our favor. So integration of values and skills. So we cannot forget values behind and skill education. As we know that we are progressing India and we want to go ahead being educators. That's really our, of course, the duty that we take the skills also along, the values also along, being Indian and being citizens. And of course, now we being globally improving on everything. So we have to make sure that we include values and skills also in our curriculum. So that will also be part of our annual curriculum planning. Now, why we want to go ahead with KCB curriculum type of a planning? Why not to go ahead with anything else? Because obviously, when we know that the CBSE has already given us the competency-based education type of a framework, so why not to go ahead with that only? Why not to impart knowledge and competency also? And why not to improve behavior? Behavior is the key, of course. We have to make sure that we have to amalgamate all these things so that students are learning a lot. So it is definitely, it's not only that we go into the classes and students are learning just rote memory. No, we want to teach them properly so that it goes along till they are doing anything, even in the market, even in the classroom. It suits to all type of situations, and definitely it will go ahead with and the overall development of the student. So it should be there. It should be just aligned with the everything, whatever is happening in the society. Also, they should be knowledgeable. So of course, life skills, we all know life skills are very important. So we will be including life skills also in our curriculum planning. So I would request all the teachers to please note down the key factors or the key, whatever the words you get to know. So we cannot forget just life skills. We cannot forget that there we have to go ahead with competency based education, the values also, we have to impart the values also. And of course, real life application is very important. It's not only that we are doing back exercises, we are just doing true false type of exercises, or maybe we are just completing with the assessments. We have to make sure that whatever we are teaching, we are teaching in that way, that this view of in our mind, that it should be real life application. It should go beyond the classroom, not should stay inside the classroom only, or it should not be just for the pen and paper test. So that's very important. Now, framework for curriculum planning. Now I go ahead with different types of points. Please note down so that we know that what all we are going to go ahead with or include with our annual curriculum planning. First of all, we all know that first of all, we'll be choosing the content. Now, content is all about, or in simple words, I say it's all about books. As we know that we all are following the NCERT books. Most of us are, and many are using help books as well. Help book as it did workbooks also. So whatever the content we are choosing, it should be student friendly. Of course, follow the CBSE policies also, so that whatever we are going to teach, it should link. Now here I would like to specifically mention that whatever the book we are choosing, as CBSE has already very nicely designed all the books, that they are gradually going one step ahead. I mean, if UKG child is reading chapter A, it is only about behavior of in the classroom only, then maybe in class 1 and 2 he or she is reading or maybe learning the chapter B, which is all about beyond the classrooms, going ahead with the classrooms, maybe the manners after outside the classroom or something like that. So that's very important. Whatever the books content we select very smartly so that they are gradually linking. Learning outcomes. Anything we are planning, we want outcomes, we want fruits, we want results, and whatever we are planning, we have to keep in our mind that it should connect with the learning. I mean to say that our teaching should lead to the learning outcomes only. So our learning outcomes becomes very important in annual curriculum planning. Teaching strategy. How we are going to teach students. I mean to say that are we going to take just only a lecture type of a method that we'll be teaching, or maybe we'll take a reverse method where students are also participating. Maybe we'll go for the practicals. Maybe we'll go to explore for the field visits also. So all these strategies we have to plan when we have to think and pen down whenever we are planning for our annual curriculum planning. So that's very important. Our strategies should be always kept in our mind. Definitely, these should suit to our the curriculum, the syllabus, whatever we are going to teach, and the content. Resources and activities. Our resources and activities, whatever we are going to take, maybe art integration activities, maybe health and physical education, somewhere we'll be including, maybe we'll be taking to, as I mentioned just now, to field trips, maybe through excursions only we'll be going ahead. So all the activities happening in the classroom, outside the classroom, maybe in the field, maybe in the sports field, or in lab or in art lab, should be very clear and should be there with the inside the this curriculum planning only. There should be completely there. Assessment methods. As we know that we want to assess students, not we want to see that how many marks he or she is getting. No, we do not want to assess the child or judge the child on the basis of marks only. We want to assess ourselves also. We want to see that where we have reached. For example, the student is able to understand the simple mathematics or not. Maybe the basics were not clear. I have to go back. I have to revise everything. So all these things need to be done. So all the assessment methods or assessment criteria should be there in the annual curriculum planning. That's very important. Balanced academic load. Now that's another important aspect. Generally, what happens, we just go ahead with the syllabus and don't, I just forget completely that we have to keep a balance. A student, of course, maybe age of 12, maybe 5, or maybe 16, or maybe 14. So there's some, obviously, there are some levels, there are some expectations of the students also. So we have to balance everything. And let's not to forget that the student is learning not only one subject, he or she is learning probably 5, 6, or 7 subjects with skill subjects. So we have to make sure that we balanced everything completely. Alignment among all. Now, as I mentioned, that students will be learning many subjects at a time, so there should be an alignment. Of course, multidisciplinary, completely, they should be interrelated. In case we want to teach mathematics, can we go ahead with maybe language also? Can we improve language out of it also? Or maybe we are just teaching language, or this, everything should connect. So alignment of all the with the curriculum and all the coordination of all the subjects is very important. Now, realistic timelines. That's again very important. Realistic timelines, as in that we just decide on completing the syllabus, but are we sure that this chapter or these many content or these many chapters will be able to complete in term 1? It's not that we are just rushing ahead, going ahead with our syllabus, and students are not able to learn. So realistic timelines, that we yes, buffer time. This is very important. Generally, we forget to give buffer time to our syllabus. We just feel that, okay, we'll be able to finish chapter 1 in 1 week only. Now I'm coming to these all aspects also, but at times because of unforeseen situations or something, we are not able to. So please keep buffer time. Maybe you have to revise your chapter. Maybe you have to go back and to the previous one. So all these things we have to manage, and realistic timelines and buffer time or revision time should be framed completely. So all this should be part of our ACP, our annual curriculum planning. So that's very important. Reflection reinforcement. As I just mentioned, maybe we have to go ahead, again, we have to go back after we assess the students. We get to know that this chapter was not understood by the students. So we have to go back to that very chapter. Maybe we need to involve more activity to explain any particular chapter. We need to reinforce. So all all these things we have to keep in our mind. So we just can't just go ahead with just the number of days and the chapters. We just take the number of days and divide the chapters. So we have to divide everything and balance everything very clearly. So flexibility for revision, as we are just discussing the same thing only, there should be a flexibility of revision time also. So maybe before the exams, I will keep 10 days for the revision. I'll complete. For example, my exams are in September, for starting from 1st of September. I'm just taking random date and month. My half yearlies are starting from 1st of September. So my target should be that I should complete my curriculum, my content, my chapters by 10th of August. Maybe 20 days, because we know that 10th of August means 20 days I'm taking. But yes, working days may be less, maybe 15. Sundays should be there, will be there, maybe any the gazetted holiday or any other announced holiday. So that also we have to keep in mind. So say at least 10 to 12 days we should keep for revisions also. So flexibility for revision, reinforcement, and reflection and assessment, whatever the results are, there should be there, so that our students are able to understand each and everything very carefully. So that's very important. Now, vertical alignment. Now, what is this all about? As we know, that every class connects to the another class. After UKG, the child will grow to will go to grade 1, then grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, and gradually will go to grade 10 and grade 12 also, and college also. So we have to make sure that every class builds on the previous one. So as I mentioned earlier also, we all need to sit together. We have to see that what previously the child has learned, and now what in future or presently I will be teaching. What previously child has learned, what now I'm going to teach, and in future the child will learn. So that child will also learning in chunks. It's he or she is not so overloaded with the curriculum, and they are also enjoying the journey, the learning journey. So that's very important. No repetition or the same level. So whatever we are going, just repeating the same thing again and again, so that can be boring for the students, wastage of time at times. And of course, when we are repeating anything, now this repeating does not mean that we revise and repeat it. There's a thin line. It's not revising, definitely we will be doing in case the child is not able to understand, but repeating again and again the same concept when everybody has understood, it should not be done. So it should be, now we have accessed everything, assessment has been done, so that everything is clear, so we can go ahead with that also. Concepts deepen year by year. So obviously, year by year, concept should be very clear. We are building up in our junior classes, and in senior classes, 6 onwards, or probably 5th onwards, we are deepening the curriculum. That also I will tell you how we will gradually, in my the slides when we'll go ahead, I'll tell you how we will gradually plan this also. Skills are strengthened progressively. So skill-based education, the skills should be completely strengthened. It's not only that we have taken only now skills are, it's not skill education only. Skills are basically writing skill. For example, I am in UKG, I'm just starting, as we know, with simple ABC in English. But in grade 1, probably I'm going ahead with simple frame of simple sentences. I was there, I am going there, or something like that. In grade 2, I'm starting with 3 sentence answer, question answer. Maybe in grade 4, then I'm gradually going to paragraph writing, or say about 15 lines. Then I'm in grade 5, I'm going ahead with paragraph writing of say 30 lines. So something, this is gradual progress. So skills are strengthened progressively, one by one after the other, when the children are learning. So they are also going gradually, and they are strengthening the skills also. So that's very important. Now in front of your screen, there's one picture. As we all can see, the child, if you see the wide, broadened eyes, the child seems to be very confused. What you say? If you can just go ahead with your observations in the chat box also. Yes, the child seems to be very confused. He is just learning everything coming from all around, coming to the mind. Yes. So yes, you're right. So it's completely. मुझे first आना है. I want to be the intelligent one in the class. So he is struggling. So everything is just they're learning, bombarded with the knowledge. So nothing is coming out. But here on your screen, there's another picture. If you all can see, the children, they are very calm. They are of the same age almost. They are very calm. They're building a house, maybe an activity. Yes, you are right. Yes, an activity is going on. They seems quite calm. They are doing their work. They are enjoying it. So this is what we want. During the ACP, it's not that we have to plan accordingly our whatever our knowledge is. We have to plan according to the students. The key point is we have to see the students will be able to understand this or not. Yes. So otherwise, it's of no use. Our planning will be a failure itself. So we have to make sure that we, whatever we plan, we keep in our mind that children should be completely satisfied at the end of our session, whatever at the end of the academic year. So that's very important. Now I go ahead with the different stages one by one. As I mentioned earlier, also UKG, then 1 to 5, then 6 to 8, and 9 to 10. Now I'm going ahead with the curriculum planning, the stages. Now the foundation stage, as we all know, that focus areas. What should be our focus area? Are we targeting that our children should be able to read and write 30 lines? No, not at all. They'll not be able to. So definitely language readiness, at least they should come out with this aspect. They should with skill that they are able to express themselves. In UKG, they should be able to express themselves. The language skills, the command on language, whatever language we are teaching, 3 language formula we are using, or we are teaching only 1 language right now from the beginning. So whatever we are teaching, that's very important that the child is ready with the language only. Number sense. So it's not that we are going to teach very big calculations or the complicated one. It's only they should recognize 1, 2, 3 only. So basically these areas we should focus. And the another is motor skills, which is very important. Unless and until they are psychologically and physically also they are not ready for the other classes. As I know, as I said earlier also, and you also know that UKG is foundational stage. That's why we call it foundational, because they are building up. They are the future we are building up as educator. So we have to make sure through our activities we should improve their motor skills. Social behavior, because everybody, the children, they are coming out of their house first time, and they should be able to interact socially. They should be happily with stay in the classrooms with their peers. They should interact with their peers. They should come out with their ideas also. They should participate. So all these social behavior, and of course good behavior, discipline, and everything will be targeting. So in this foundational stage, will be targeting mainly these areas. Definitely other areas we can build upon, but mainly these areas will build upon: language readiness, number sense, motor skills, and social behavior. Values, very important. Teaching approach. What should be our teaching approach? Our teaching approach should be play based. So we are not going to give them the notebook on the very first day, or maybe one first month only. So first of all, play based, so that they build up their motor skills, they build up the basic knowledge, and then we go ahead with that. Activity oriented, as we know that they love activities. If we want to grab their attention and we want to teach them while playing, so activities should be strengthened completely. And whatever short engaging sessions, they do not, their attention span is very less, as we all know that they cannot sit for hours, or say continuously for even for 30 minutes for one subject. So we have to make sure that whatever we are teaching, the chunks are very small, and the sessions are very engaging, so they are not feeling bored, and they are not feeling that whatever they are learning is of no use. No academic pressure. Definitely, we will not go ahead with the assessments directly with pen, paper, test, and all that. So whatever we are assessing, these will be observations of the teachers. So this time at this stage, teachers are just observing. They are observing the students, how they're learning. Do they need to learn more? Are they satisfied or not? Are parents satisfied or not? And whatever they were planning in the beginning, the teachers were planning in the beginning, so goals have been achieved or not. So these all things, there should be no academic pressure. So that's very important. Now we go ahead with the next stage, which is from class 1 to 5. As you all can see in the picture itself, the child, it's a stage performance, and the child is speaking on something. I mean, it's a he or she is dressed like a tree. So maybe it's a speaking skill activity. So grade 1 and 2 in UKG we have made the base. We have already taught the students the foundation. We have already built up. They have the language skills and they have the number sense also. Now the speaking skill a little clear, so they can go ahead with all these things now. And our focus areas in at this stage from grade 1 to 5 would be concept building. Now we are going ahead formally to build up the concepts. Small concepts, of course, not we are going to overload the students with very huge concept which they are not able to understand. As in the beginning, in my one of my slides, I have written also age appropriate standard whatever we are using. So we have to use that concepts accordingly. So the students, whatever they are learning, so their learning styles should be very clear. So individual attention should be there. And of course, the reading and writing skills would be developed by now. And whatever they are thinking, we have to make sure that students now we start with the concepts where they are thinking logically. It's not only they are learning or cramming everything, there should be a logical thinking. As we know that questions like reasoning, assertion reasoning based questions and competency based questions, we know that in future they have to deal with all these things. So gradually we'll start with all these things, and their behavior, their awareness, whatever the environment is happening. So we have to make sure that our focus area is on environment as well, because we have to make them very good citizens as well. So our teaching approach should be completely again activity based. It's not as we all know that CBSE also says that for experiential learning and we need to go beyond the classrooms. So our activities should be completely leading to the concepts building. So whatever the activities we are planning in my future slides, I would suggest you all the activities also and explain you that also. So our activities should be completely aligned with our syllabus. So whatever we are teaching should be completely activity based. Real life example. It's not only that we are just reading the concept, reading a book. So somehow this should connect to the real life as well, because that will become very easy for the child to understand and to grab that. Otherwise, it's just a bookish knowledge. No, they'll not be able to understand. It will be just cramming and they'll be just writing it down on a notebook. But yes, if we really want our students to be real life heroes, we want real life examples also. Term-wise syllabus division. Now we are entering formally to the assessment. Many schools they start with the assessment from grade 1. Many start with from grade 3 onwards, and some starts with grade 4 onwards. So it depends upon your institution. But yes, we have to make sure the division should be very clear. Term 1 and term 2. Like half yearly, we know that whenever we are planning half yearly, we'll not be taking the formal assessments here. But yes, whatever assessment, the worksheet rather, I would, if I take the name worksheet, the worksheet will be using, the review worksheets will be using, should be used completely, so that and we should target that we understand how many students have understood the topic, or we need to go back. As I mentioned earlier also, we have to keep the buffer time. We have to make sure the reflection revision time and the flexible timings should be there, so that we can complete everything and we are not overburdening anybody. So activity and worksheet, as I just now mentioned, so should be integrated. So whatever worksheet, the written work we are giving should be integrated. It should not be only the pen paper they are using, the pencil they are using. They should learn it with activity. Continuous informal assessment. So informal assessments like speaking skill. It's not only that they are writing anything, maybe during class, and maybe the verbal oral test only we can take, or maybe verbally they are speaking something, or the poem recitation is there, or any mathematical calculation can be done with the help of activity, so that you know that the students are able to understand. Now, for example, at this stage, we want to know the students are able to add or not. In mathematics, they are able to do the sum multiplication or not. So we can give them different objects. For example, I have given 2 matchsticks, 2 pencils, and now I give 2 more to you. Will you be able to add? How many are there? So it's a simple oral activity. We are not taking formal assessment, but yes, we have assessed it that the student is able to do this multiplication or maybe the division or maybe whatever the according to the syllabus is. So informal type of assessments I would suggest should be very regular, and these review will definitely help you to understand the students are able to understand or not. And while planning the curriculum for the full session, we have to make sure that we keep at least one day in a week, or accordingly 1 hour, whatever it suits according to the institution, and the days divided, the days with all of you throughout the session. So make sure that at least one day or probably 2 days in a week you keep for these students to assess them informally, so that you are prepared and they are also prepared for the future session, and you can go ahead with the next content in the next chapter. Now we move ahead with classes 6 to 8. For classes 6 to 8, the focus area, definitely now we in this area, when we enter to 6 to 8, so there will be many subjects. We'll be entering with the skill education, also we'll be teaching them history, geography, or they'll come with the social studies completely. They will be grammar also, they'll be learning the literature part also, and mathematics, different other aspects also they'll be learning. So our focus area definitely will change. Now we will be moving towards the analytic thinking. Now it's not only one concepts only, they should go ahead with different type of concepts. The conceptual depth is very important now, because now they are senior, they are able to understand the basics. Now we are going to the depths. Now we are digging into what they are not able to understand, what they should understand, because the future demands the same. So accordingly, the conceptual depth, everything whatever we are planning should be focused on that. We going ahead with analytic thinking, skill development and application, whatever they are learning. As we know, the CBSE also focuses on in syllabus also what we all have seen. So how many percentage been given? So application based questions also, it's very important. So whatever we are teaching, will they be applied to real life? Will they be applied to that content while answering the questions during the exams? Will they able to do? So all these things all should be gradually planned during your curriculum planning. Social emotional learning also should be there. So that's very important. In this picture, as you care, it's not only that, as we mentioned earlier also in my first slide, I mentioned, it's not only about that knowledge, competency based knowledge, it's all about the behavior also, the values also. So that's also we have to gradually go ahead. So whenever life skills also, we have to make sure when we include, when we plan our curriculum planning, we go ahead with that. Case studies. So what should be our teaching approach? Different case studies, because we want them to learn through the real life situations. So case studies should be there. Experiments and projects. As we know that in science, we'll be starting with the different experiments, practicals will be there, and projects for social studies, mathematics, and different subjects would be there. So we can give them projects this time. Teaching approach will start with the base of experiments and projects. So this is also part of the activity which they learn by doing, and experiential learning will grow. A regular formative assessment. This time we can just go ahead with the formative assessment, like our half yearly, like our periodic assessments also, which we take of 25 marks or 20 marks, or at time 15 marks in many schools. So we can go ahead with the regular formative assessments. And definitely, as I mentioned earlier also, these formative assessments are not only to check marks, to check papers, but to see and to recognize students' abilities, and to really see where we were lacking as an educator, and where we can go ahead with, and where we need to repeat any topic, or can we move ahead or not. So all these assessments should be part of your, and feedback. Feedback should be taken from the parents and from the students also. That's very important. For class 9 and 10. Now they have grown. They have understood the basic foundation completely clear. All the parameters they have cleared, and the competency based training approach should be our focus now area. We should go ahead with different things. Now competency based question, strong conceptual understanding, application based question, exam strategies, how they are going to appear for the exams, how they are going to go ahead with the whatever they are teaching, whatever we are teaching, they are going to transfer those in obviously in their own words to the pen and paper test and all that. So all these strategies, how to revise, how to manage the time, and everything will be focusing. And why I'm saying that, it's not because whenever we'll be planning our curriculum, so we have to keep those days also for 9th and 10th. Believe me, it's going to work wonders for your result. Whenever we are, it's not only that I have completed one chapter, at least one day I should keep where I take the assessment, a shorter one, very short, just 15-minute assessment, and say a period is of 40 minutes. I'm just taking random example. A period is of 40 minutes, and 15 minutes I'm just accessing whatever I have taught within just 4 days. And if the students are able to do it or not, in case they are not able to, then I have to tell them the strategy, how they can move on, how the time management, will they be able to do it or not, because time management is very important. It's going to be a 3-hour paper, the writing time obviously is going to be 3 hours. How they are going to manage their time, it's a strategy, of course, that we all need to follow. We all need to take the time, and during planning we have to keep buffer day, one day for all these things also, for class 9 and 10. In fact, for class 6 onwards we can go ahead with that, but yes, specifically for class 8th, 9th and 10th we should go ahead with all the type of days, that when we are just teaching them the strategy, how to go ahead, how to manage the time during exams also, in fact during revision, during study, the normal days also, how to manage all other subjects as well. So that's very important. Teaching approach should be micro planning. As I'm mentioning just now, that we have to plan everything very nicely. So micro planning should be there. Macro is definitely there. We know the content, we know the syllabus and everything. But micro, for example, am I going to take 2 days for the grammar portion only, 3 days for the literature? Am I going to take only for addition only 2 days, and for multiplication will I be taking 3, or I need the other way, the reverse? So this micro planning should be done prior. So that's very important. Practice-based learning. So whatever they are learning, they should practice also. It's not only that we are coming out to the classes, just we have taught and it's done. No, they have to practice everything, maybe the written part or the verbal part or anything. So practice, as we know, makes the man perfect. So definitely practice-based learning also, we have to go ahead with that also. Assessment analysis. Now, this is very important. Generally, we miss out during our assessment planning. Whenever we are planning, we have to make sure that the analysis should be done. For example, now I have taken a test of 10 questions, right? Out of that, I will access the first 5 questions every student was able to complete. But question number 8 and 9 were difficult for students, say 50%, or I say 60% were not able to complete. Now, as a teacher, I have understood that these 2 topics, the student was not able to understood. So I have to repeat all these. So assessment analysis, this we call assessment analysis, should be done. So this is very important, that we analyze that these many questions students could not do, most of them could not do. So it means they were not able to understand this particular portion or maybe a chapter or the content. So this is what we call assessment analysis. And during curriculum planning, we have to make sure that we plan it this way, so that whenever we are taking the assessment, we are analyzing that also. It's not only that we are giving the marks or maybe the grades on the pen or on the test and our work is done. No, our work is beyond that also. We have to access everything, we have to assess and analyze everything very deeply, so that we can go ahead with the revision or maybe whatever the strategy we need to follow in future. So integration or revision cycles, as we know that it's not only one subject, there are going to be many subjects. So we have to make sure that we take integration of revision cycles also. We have to make sure that we take every class together. Now on my screen, you all can see there are 2, I would say these pictures in 2 persons. One, as you all can identify, is a student with many books, and one teacher is there with ACP on board. So a teacher, whenever is planning, why I have mentioned this picture here, because whenever a teacher is planning, the very first opinion, the very first thing should be there, that you have to keep in your mind a student. You have to keep that the student should be completely comfortable. So whatever we will be planning, it should be student centric and subject wise completely. So now we go ahead with subject wise planning. So whatever we are going to teach, it's not only that we are concentrating our own subject only. We have to make sure that, as I mentioned earlier also, the student is learning, we are teaching many subjects. So that's also. So define clear learning outcomes for each subject. So what are we going to teach should align with our learning outcomes also. So that's very important. Break syllabus into manageable units. For example, we have 15 chapters. So we have to make sure in term one, we take 7 chapters. In term two, we take 8 chapters. So similarly, and that also, if we want to go ahead with micro planning. So in 1 week, I will be doing this topic. Another week, I will be doing this topic. So we have to break the syllabus and we have to balance everything clearly. So manageable units, very important that we have to manage everything completely. Maintain balance across all subjects. So all the subject, whether it's language 1, 2, 3, mathematics, science, social science, skill subject. So there should be complete balance. So it's not only that only mathematics we are teaching with full energy, and in English they are going very slow, or maybe English they are going very fast, or say with high energies, and in mathematics they are going slow in with any other subject. So we have to keep balance, and for that, whenever we get time now, for example, students are not in the school. So as different subject teachers, we all should sit together and we should look into at least one, have a look into other subjects planning also, so that we know that other subjects are going to go ahead like this. So I have to plan it so that we can coordinate with other subjects also. As we know that CBSE always appreciate the multidisciplinary approach, and we also know that whenever we are teaching, so we have to go hand in hand, of course, with the other subjects. So it's not only one subject. So overload in particular month and term. So that's very important while preparing planning. So we have to make sure that it's not only that during the exam, I mean, when exams are approaching, so during those days only, we go ahead and finish with the syllabus. So we have to balance out everything completely. And there is no particular month or term when we are overloading the students, and the another term they are just relaxing and not doing anything, or probably the syllabus is very low. So this balance is very important, and ensure gradually increase in difficult level. So of course, one by one, when we'll take the steps, as we see in the pictures also, the ladders, there should not be a missing step. The ladders should be complete. So this also is very important. Alignment with grade level expectations. So key considerations should be alignment with different subjects, because in case otherwise that will not be possible for all of us to go ahead. Integration of activities and practical work. So different activities and practical work should be there. So practical, generally we think about practical whenever it comes to our mind, we think about science and mathematics mostly, right? So in other subjects, we go ahead with different activities. So all these activities and practical work for the experiential learning, for thinking out of the box, we have to go ahead with that also. Inclusion of real life applications, as we see other that real life situations, as we give the case study based questions also. So whenever we are including real life examples during teaching, even that's very important. While teaching, please make sure while you are planning your for the entire session, you just decide on your chapters that this type of real life example I'm going to give. For example, I'm just giving a random example. I'm teaching in English. I'm teaching a chapter which is the basic theme is bravery. The basic theme is intelligence. So in bravery, I can take real life example of our soldiers, any of our Padma Vibhushan, or any of our war, or any our victory, anything. So these type of real life examples, when we'll be connecting to our content, the students will be able to understand, and definitely we will be able to go ahead with all these plannings. Scope of revision and reinforcement. Why I'm coming again and again with all all these words, because it's not only completion of syllabus in ACP, we have to make sure that we give enough room for improvement. So improvement will definitely come with the revision and reinforcement only. So it's not that we just taught our the syllabus, the content, and we are out of the classes. So we have to make sure we keep complete our days for the assessment, and complete good days for enough days rather for revision and reinforcement also. As we know, subject-wise progression will go ahead. Now here I am taking example, I am be showing you for languages. As we know that for languages, as I mentioned while I was explaining you the foundational stage, the language is in language, the basic language sense, language skill should be there. They should be able to speak properly. So listening, first of all, obviously the basic is listening. If they are not good listener, they'll not be able to speak because they follow the teacher, right? So listening, speaking, then reading, writing, and analyzing also. So that's very important. Analyze as well, reasoning based questions and case study based questions. So we'll be using this skill in that way also. So in mathematics, they are, first of all, they know the numbers and they know the operations like additions, multiplication, and all that. Then gradually they go ahead with their algebra and application based questions also. So this is the subject wise progress we are going to go ahead with. Now I have taken another example of subject science. So observations, as we know, the science is all around us. So it's not only in the books only. So observation with very small practicals in the classrooms, which is activity based, practical based strategy, teaching approach. So when we go ahead with the students, they observe and then they understand whatever the experiment, then they gradually go ahead with different type of experiments also. They also do very interestingly, they come out with their ideas, experiments also, whatever they look around and they observe, so they go ahead. The reasoning also, skills also they get to know, because we know that science is all about logic and reasoning, so they go ahead with that. So this type of progress should be there. So this is the basic structure we should keep in our mind, that whenever we are teaching anything to the students, so first of all, they should be able to observe, then understand everything clearly, experiment should be there. So all these aspects we have to keep in our mind. So whenever we are planning the annual curriculum, so gradually we should distribute our chapters accordingly. Any questions till now? Am I missing on, Salam sir, am I missing on anything important which is there in the chat box?
So far, no questions. Questions are not related to this. So we will take questions related to this and others.
Right, sir, right. So now on your screen, as you all can see, I've just given one example. I have just taken, say, April and May, 2 months only. And all you can see, the headings obviously highlighted in blue, that month. How we are going to plan this, whatever we are going to teach annually. So first of all, month-wise, we need to divide. Month-wise, we know in April, what are we going to do? So week one, how many days are going to be there in week one? For example, there are 5 days. So maybe at times 5 days teaching days are there according to the institution, or maybe it's one Sunday, or probably one holiday or something like that. So there are total 7 days in a week, but we have taken 5 days, because you can take 6 days also in case there are 6 teaching days in that particular week. It's not only that in that particular, according to the calendar, but according to our school calendar. I repeat, according to our school calendar, we are just leaving all the functions or the annual functions and everything aside, all the holidays and teaching days. So these are basically 5 days are teaching days. These are not working or the weekdays according to the calendars. These are teaching days. So in week one, there will be 5 teaching days. And now, for example, I have taken the topic food. Where does it come from? This is for class 6 I have taken, and subtopic is source of food. So this is my topic. This is my subtopic. I have planned it. Now these many days I am going to teach this. So students will now learning outcome. What will be the learning outcome? I've just taken one random example. It can be different also. So students will identify plant and animal sources of food. Pardon. So I have taken this example. Now sorting activity, how they are going to do it. This activity should be there. So if you all can read, then value integration should be there, awareness about healthy eating, as I mentioned earlier also. That's teaching is not only about it's only about that whatever we are going to teach, so we have to inculcate habits and good habits and values also, so we'll be using value integration as well. So these headings we can use, this can be done. And now next is subject integration. So pardon this bad throat. So from subject integration also we'll be taking, and similarly reflection on the topic that will be done. This reflection will be done at the end after the week is complete. So I've just written randomly for all of you. So similarly in week 2, in April only 7 days are there. I've taken just random number, what I'm going to teach, what are learning outcomes will be there, which activity, value integration will be there, subject integration. It's multidisciplinary approach. I have given the heading subject integration. So reflection at the end of the topic. So this reflection is very important, that this I am going to write as a teacher. This is not student reflection. This is I am going to write as a teacher, that for example these many students were able to understand whether I was able to complete the chapter or maybe the decided curriculum, the topic or the subtopic in that particular time period or not. So this is my reflection, so that in future whenever I am planning anything, I can go back and refer to that. So that's very important. Similarly, now I've taken in May week 3, I have taken days, I have taken 4 days. In week 4 I have taken 5 days. Topics I have taken, now topics obviously first 2 weeks in April, the same topic I was continuing with. Definitely the activity was different. In week 1 the activity was sorting activity. Now in week 2 I've taken chart making activity. So this any activity you can take. So this is how we divide, how we plan. So basically we plan the framework, that these are headings, and this is under this activity will be done, this value integration will be done, or subject multidisciplinary approach will be taken. So this is how we go ahead with all these things. So month wise, week wise, distribution, division, it's very important, and keeping a balance. It's not only that. For example, I'm just taking one random example again. For example, in May month, I know that my annual function, according to my school calendar, it's already been planned on 5th of May. I'm just taking random day on 5th of May, and that falls in week 1. So obviously, in that week only, I will not be taking 2 chapters. I will not be taking complete 1 chapter. I will be taking probably a very small chunk, a subtopic, which they'll be able to complete in 2 days. Because I know that for annual this function examination, the whatever we have to make sure the revision will not be able to go ahead with the syllabus, because they will be busy with the annual function practices and all that. So the cultural activities, they will be there. So co-curricular activities will be loaded with that only. So we have to make sure we balance it out. So in May, in week 3, I will be writing 2 days only, and I will take a very small chunk, a very small topic, so that I can obviously teach also. I'm not missing on my curriculum, and students are learning co-curricular activities also. They're learning everything. So this is how we are going to plan everything annually. So that's very important. So whatever we are planning, why I'm taking so much time to explain this particular slide, because this is now the basic. This is how we are going to plan everything, month wise, week wise, days of teaching, topic, subtopic, what will be our learning outcomes, our resources also, what all will be our resources. Are we going to go ahead with any experiential learning? Maybe we are planning for any field activities. Maybe we are integrating any value with the sports only. We will be going to teach them through sports, or maybe subject integration. We'll be doing this with English or mathematics also. Now, particularly regarding this subject integration with other subjects. Now, all the subjects teacher, they need to sit, maybe the HODs, they all need to sit together, and they need to plan out properly. For example, will I be coordinating this in this particular week? Now, it's a very simple example. In English, nouns we are teaching. In Hindi, Sangya we are teaching. Right? In English, nouns, and Hindi, Sangya. If you're teaching Hindi subject or any other language. So both should go hand in hand. It's not only in English I'm teaching nouns, and in Hindi I'm teaching adjectives, Visheshan. So that's very important, so that students are not getting confused. So that subject integration while annual curriculum planning is very important. We all need to sit together as different subject teachers, or maybe HODs, or maybe the heads. They all need to sit together and they plan everything so smoothly that students are not getting confused. As we know that we are the approach is on learner centric, so obviously the teaching. So we have to make sure that they should not get confused, and there should be a proper alignment. Everything should be completely going hand in hand, a parallel way, so that students are able to learn. And this reflection part, again, I would request all of you not to forget to fill this after you complete the one chapter, or after you complete that week one, because this reflection will lead you for the preparation of next year's curriculum planning also. Yes, I mean it. At time, what happened on very first, for example, this time I'm starting with the annual curriculum planning. I have planned everything very well according to my knowledge, but when I have done the reflection, when I've written everything, and next session, before I start with the next session's planning 2027 20 for 27 28, I have to refer back. I can just go back and just have a look on the reflection area, and now I know that this session, last session 26 27, this portion was possible, this was not possible, this here I was going very fast, here I felt this difficulty. So I can even go back and reflect on that very just refer to that on very particular session also. So this will help you, this reflection will help you not only for the current session, in fact for the future section also, the whatever you're going to teach. So both the sessions would be very smooth for all of you. Any queries on this, or we move ahead? I believe all is well.
We can move ahead. We can take questions at the end. There are no questions.
Right, sir.
It's
Right.
clear.
So now here I have taken particularly a particular subject, mathematics. Now I'm going little deep on that. I've taken one subject, mathematics. Now, how we are going to go ahead with different class wise. As I mentioned, that it's not only all classes should build up on the previous class, so there should be complete alignment. We should go step by step. Now in mathematics, I've taken this subject only, mathematics. The class is UKG to 2. Now in UKG to 2, the learning objectives are definitely the children are very small, so number sense, counting, shapes, patterns, and basic operations they should know. This is what we say. UKG to 1, UKG to 2, learning outcomes are very different. So we want them to learn they should be able to identify numbers. They should be able to compare everything, simple addition, subtraction, they are able to do or not. So this is our learning outcome. Now the same subject, same students, now they are going to 3 and 5, classes 3 onwards. So now they should do the 4 operations. They should know the learning objectives should be measurement also, basic geometry, word problems, the simple statement kind of sums they should know. So gradually we are moving ahead with our learning objective and learning outcomes also. They are able to solve now in 3 to 5 this segment. They are able to solve the operations. They are able to apply to the basic, to the normal life also. Real life applications are also there. So that's very important. It's not only that whatever we are teaching remains in the classroom only. When they are going to the market or with the parents, are they able to apply the same whatever they have learned in the classroom? So that's very important. So our learning objectives and learning outcomes, they are changing. They are gradually, or I say gradually increasing, step by step, class by class. So 6 to 8, they are doing algebra, integers, ratio, percentage, data handling, and everything. And then they are learning outcomes are they are solving expressions, as we know that in syllabus also, expressions and all that concepts, logical thinking. 9th and 10th, obviously high order thinking skills are required. So advanced algebra, trigonometry, geometry, and all that, they start doing it. This is our objective and learning outcomes. As we know that our objectives and learning outcomes are always aligned. So whatever we are teaching is our objective. This is what we are going to teach, and what we want students to learn out of that, it's our learning outcome. So they should be aligned. So this is a simple example of one subject only, where learning objectives and learning outcomes are aligned, and how they are gradually increasing and improving step by step, class by class. So that's very important. Now, assessment. as I was mentioning earlier also, that in ACP, assessments play the pivotal role. It's not only that we have planned everything what we are going to teach, we have to plan and keep time and days for our assessments also. So how we are going to plan assessments, an overview I am going to give you. Assessment, whatever, as I mentioned earlier also, that it's not only about how many marks the student is getting. We should know that which topic or which area the students were not able to perform well. So where we need to go back and repeat. So that's very important. And continuous and structured should be there. Assessment, it should be very continuous. It continuous example, it does not mean every day and does not mean at least twice in a week or something. Definitely according to the requirement of the class and the topic, we should take continuous assessment. So must align with the learning outcomes. So what we want students to learn. So assessment needs to be aligned with those only. It's not only that we are taking pen paper test or maybe oral test and these are not aligned with the learning outcomes. Then only we'll get to know that we are successful or not. Types of assessment, as we all know, their basic types are diagnostic. Before teaching, when we get to know that now before teaching generally is like what the students have learned till now. Now, for example, the student is in class 5 now. Till class 4, the simple multiplication they have learned. I'm just taking random example. Multiplication they have learned. Now they have come to class 5. In grade 5, they should go with the complex statement type of a question. So I have to start my chapter, my teaching well before that. I need to know that they are able to do simple multiplication, addition, subtraction or not. So all these things are very basic. As we know in teaching, we start with the prior knowledge about what the students have learned. So we always find a link and we understand whatever the students are always aware of. Then only we base our the teaching strategy on that. Formative assessment during teaching, we keep taking oral test, we keep taking pen paper test and summative assessments also. So those all will help us that during teaching whatever is going on or not. Summative teaching after completion, when we take a test of 15 marks, 20 marks. So all these we have to make sure all these types are already involved, they are imbibed in our curriculum planning. Otherwise, assessments, it's not only that we have taken half yearly or final exams or maybe periodic test of 20 marks directly. We have to make sure that we are taking short test, class test, which we call them also, and we assess whatever the students have learned till now. So informal assessment through class participation, whatever the observation, what we do when they speak, when they reply to our questions in the classroom itself, whenever we are teaching, which is normal practice for all of us. Role of teachers. Now we come to different roles of different stakeholders. Now role of teachers is very important because you all are going to teach. So you have to prepare lesson plans and prepare annual curriculum planning. So first of all, the broader roadmap is our annual curriculum planning, our ACP, and then we go ahead with the lesson plans of different lessons of different topics. Follow timelines and syllabus distribution. Obviously, when we have planned the broader aspect of timelines, for example, I have 15 days in a month, teaching days in a month. In 15 days, I have to complete one chapter or two chapter. What is the length of the chapter? Will I be able to take the time for assessment? Will I be able to take the time for activity also? As we know that we have to integrate each and everything. So all these syllabus distribution and timelines we need to follow. So according to term, we'll be doing it. Teaching strategies, which we are going to mention in our ACP. You can mention this on the heading also, and then you can write it beneath that. Okay, whatever you want to teach, teaching strategies is very important. Identify and support slow learners. Now, slow learner does not mean those who are not intelligent. It has nothing to do with intelligence. Slow learning means, as we know, that every individual has his or her own capacity. So they work and they learn accordingly. So are we able to catch up with those also? Those who are not able to understand our topic. So that also we need to get it. So we have to make sure while annual planning, we keep this thing also in our mind, we write a note in a diary that we have to identify and support those students also, those who are not able to catch up the syllabus like other students are going ahead with that. Maintain records and reflections. Recording the marks, recording the assessment, the observation is very important. And as in my ACP plan, the broader screen I showed you, reflection is again, I would request you, all of you, to make sure that you write reflections at the end of the topic or maybe end of the month. Role of HODs. Now, HODs, as we know, head of the department, as I mentioned, that for different subjects, all the HODs can sit together and then they can obviously tell their the team members of different subjects, whatever they are planning. So uniformity in subject planning should be there. So as I've already given you example of noun and adjectives and all that. So all these should go hand in hand. They should be completely aligned with other subjects also. Review lesson plans and assessment. So HODs should always review lesson plans. So whatever the assessments are going on, teachers are definitely working on that. But HODs, the head of departments, they should always help them, support them, guide them in planning everything. So monitor the syllabus coverage regularly. At times, teachers, they are just focusing on content only because teaching is not an easy job. So somebody should be there to guide them and go ahead with that. So they should also go ahead with monitoring the syllabus and everything. So proper monitoring is done. So anywhere, wherever the teacher is lacking, the HOD can help out. Role of coordinators, those who are just step ahead with from HODs. So oversee implementation across grades. So coordinators, normally they have a segment of 4-5 classes or maybe more than that. So they see across the grades. Now, as teacher, you have planned your own subject. As HOD, the HOD has planned her own or his own subject with obviously in alignment with the other subjects. Now, role of coordinators, they have to see class-wise the gradual increase. Of course, improvement, whatever is happening, the class-wise is happening or not. It's not only that it's only happening in particular subject, in other subject it's not happening. So they have to oversee everything. And of course, the amalgamation or whatever the contribution other they are giving, they have to follow that. Conduct review meetings. So with HODs and teachers, review meetings are very important. At times we plan everything, but when we are doing it practically in the classrooms, the practical scenario is different. So we miss out on anything and we think, no, we need to reflect again on that. We need to plan it again because there is no harm in planning it again. So that also we have to make sure the coordinators are taking meetings and support teachers and HODs in that. Monitoring mechanism, those who are obviously above them, the authorities. So monthly syllabus tracking, whenever we are planning monthly, whatever we are going to teach should be there. Regular lesson plans check should be there. Assessment analysis meetings should be there. As I mentioned, assessment analysis is very important. We have to make sure where our graph is going, our pie chart or graphs, whatever the ways you take. We can take help of AI in that. Even in fact, I've been doing it. It's like just you have to fill the marks and you get the graph of a graph or you get the pie chart completely and you get to know the red lines, the areas where you need to work again. So all these things are very important. So all these analysis should be done properly. Classroom observations should be done by HODs or maybe heads so that whatever the teacher is teaching impacting the students or not, or whatever the curriculum planning being done, it's really practically possible or not. Do we need to improve on that? Do we need to go a little slow, or any improvement or any other reflection can be discussed accordingly? So common challenges. Now we talk about, we have understood the basics of our annual curriculum planning. So common challenges, what are the common challenges? It's not that it's going to be a very smooth journey. Definitely, it's a roller coaster ride and there will be bumps around. And we have to make sure that we overcome all these challenges. Time constraints always, at times you are, somebody is telling you, no, my syllabus could not be completed because annual function preparations were there, because of certain unannounced holiday or something like that, any situation which we cannot avoid. So maybe time constraint, maybe the teacher was on leave because of sickness or something, any personal reason. So time constraint also will be. That's why I'm saying while planning the curriculum annually, you have to make sure you keep the buffer days, buffer time. Uneven learning levels also in a classroom. In one classroom only, definitely we'll find some children, they are very sharp in understanding, they are able to understand topic within one lecture only, and some a few we need to repeat anything. So all these challenges we have to keep, and we have to keep days, specific days for all these revision days, also reflection days also. So maybe the syllabus is very much, is too much and overloaded, with the lack of coordination is there maybe among all the subjects. If it's not been done properly, the HODs could not meet the other HOD of the particular subject. So this also can be possible. Now, solutions are there. Obviously, smart syllabus distribution should be there, and remedial and enrichment planning. We have to make sure whatever we are planning, so we have to enrich the students, enrich the knowledge only. It's not only we are just come out after teaching. Regular communication among staff, that's very important. Whatever the policies of the school, the institution is, and whatever the basic strategies we all are going to follow, so it should be completely communicated among the staff members, so that they all are on the same page and they are learning everything completely. Flexible planning and adjustment. We need to be little flexible. At times we have reflected that this was not possible, or this will not be possible now in this month, though I have already planned. So there should be flexibility. We can always go back and improve on that. So, as I mentioned, that whenever we are planning anything, so we have to make sure we are planning it effectively, because obviously it's not only about planning, it's majorly or mainly about execution also. So our planning and execution should go hand in hand. It's not only that I have noted down everything on a paper and I feel that my work is done. No, execution is very important, and definitely it's challenging also. So no doubt, if in the first attempt we may find some challenges, but when we all will work together as subject teachers, as HODs, as coordinator, as management, everything will be sorted and students will be able to learn everything, because ultimately we all deal with lives. We all deal with students, those who are very very nice and they want to learn everything. So that's very important. So effective curriculum planning will definitely transform teaching into reactive to purposeful. It's purposeful teaching. It's not only that we are being given a particular subject or syllabus to teach and our work is done. So that's very important. And with this, I come to this end of my this presentation. And in case any queries, anything you want to ask me, I'm most welcome for that. I'm open for the question answer round.
Yes, questions are there. Before that, thank you so much for the deep, learning and information. Dear participants,
Thank you, sir.
Madam has given you a proper guidance on how to, go about with the planning of annual academic curriculum. Well, you can map it with the curriculum released by CBSE. And also we have to keep in mind that, CBSE is emphasizing cross-curricular linkage, that is interdisciplinary approach and project-based learning. And also you have to include or incorporate or integrate CT and AI. That means computational thinking and AI, that is introduced from grade 3 to 8 from this year compulsorily. So we have to find time. So when you ask for time, CBSE, NCERT, they are telling we have rationalized curriculum. We have reduced number of chapters. So you have to reduce number of periods for certain subjects and find time for such activities so that skills enhancement can happen. So it includes CTI and the Kaushal Bodh, that is a skill development, and Kaushal Vikas. So all these have to be taken care of. And also CBSE has made it compulsory that art education should be done with in all the classes, and physical education daily 1 period they are suggesting. So all this we have to take care of when you plan your annual curriculum. So thank you so much once again to Monica ma'am. Now the floor is open to the participants for asking questions. So many questions. Please let me know about the Hindi textbook of grade 9 grammar course B. These textbooks we can expect after 10 days or within 10 days as promised by Honorable Chairman of CBSE in the meeting. You must have watched the meeting, the live telecast, webcast was there. So he promised within 10 days or 15, 2 weeks. Any question, skills also need to be included in SCP, right? Yes, of course. That's why we have the Kaushal board to be implemented.
Yes.
And all this, you have to sit together. All the departments should sit together, as Madam has said, and you have to plan it very properly, very well this year, so that 360-degree assessment is possible. Holistic progress card is possible. So all this is based on 360-degree assessment. So your SCP should also, have in mind 360-degree assessment of the child. That means all inclusive, not only, textual content, but their skill enhancement and competency. Yes, questions, you can raise your hands and we can let me know the full form of KCB. KCB, Madam has already said K stands for knowledge, C stands for competency, B for behavior. So,
Behavior.
yeah, when grade 9 science will be released, all these books will come within 10 days or within 2 weeks. You can expect within 15th April. Last year, we struggled to complete portions on time in English. What practical changes can we implement this year to ensure smooth pacing? This question is passed to Monica ma'am. Monica ma'am, can you take up this
So could
question?
you please, why? I think it's all about the syllabus completion and all that. Is it so? I could not understand if you could just repeat the.
Yes. They planned the curriculum, but they could not complete because of the, overlapping of activities or any of the reasons. So what do you suggest?
In this case, I think they need to go back and really need to reflect it. I believe they could not plan it well. That's why they could not complete it, because if in case we have planned it, we have aligned with the curriculum and definite the curriculum with the school calendar. So there's no scope that will not be able to complete. But yes, in case there is a situation when the syllabus we feel that the chapters are lot and will not be able to complete or will not be able to go ahead with the assessment of all the chapters or the question answers for all the chapters. So few chapters we can be taken as only activity based chapters. So basically, as we know that practical knowledge and the student should come out with a skill. So any particular skill can be taken out from that particular topic or the chapter, and then we can go ahead with the syllabus. So in case, yes, for grade 9 and 10th and 11th 12th, definitely we need to go ahead with all the chapters, but for 6 to 8 I would say, or rather for the lower grades, so we can go ahead with a few chapters only activity based where practical knowledge is done and given, and few chapters can be taken for the assessments. But yes, we have to make sure that we are not missing on any topic, otherwise the child will not be able to go ahead in the next session. So this very smartly, very wisely we have to plan out.
Thank you so much. Hope the answer is clear to the participant. Well, there are many doubts regarding among parents about language R1, R2, R3. Saudi Tate. Saudi ma'am, this is, a heated, discussion on these days. Well, as per my understanding and as per NCF, R1, R2, R3, R1 refers to a mother tongue or a regional language. R2 refers to any language, including English, a foreign language. R3 refers to any native language. So according to NCF or NEP, there should be 2 native languages taken by the child that starts from grade 6 this year. And in 2031, in grade 10. So it will be progressing from this year. And again, if you ask me if there is only one foreign language, of course, there is only one foreign language that many of the school or most of the schools may take it as English. And the case of French, Arabic are uncertain now, but I believe that this can be taken as an additional subject, but the number of language will increase in that case. So that is how we understand. And again, if you talk about R1 English, R2 English, suppose, schools with English medium, they can consider R1 as their, choice. It all depends upon the, severity of the learning. For example, in Hindi, we have Hindi A and B. So Hindi A may be a bit, tougher than Hindi B. So those English medium, I mean, Hindi medium schools may go for Hindi A. Non-Hindi medium schools may go for Hindi B. Similarly, we have English also. So English medium schools may go for R1 and non-English medium schools may go for R2. So this is how, and this may be, read in line with what we say basic maths and standard maths. So basic is, for those, children struggling with, so they will have some kind of easiness. So this is how we understand. The question is very clear and the answer is like this, according to my understanding. But clearly, NCF says that R1, it should be a mother tongue, regional language, R2, foreign language, or any native language. Then R3, any native language that is compulsory for as a third subject. So that hope the answer is clear to everybody. Sapna, I mean, Saudi Tata ma'am, I think you got the answer. Sapna madam also has asked the same. And very effective session conducted. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations, Monica ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. All under your guidance. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And how can we complete the syllabus we follow on online teaching? Online teaching also we have to have, according to the number of periods you have allotted, the school is allotting, you have to, frame the curriculum accordingly. So the CBSE has given, subject-wise number of hours and all. Accordingly, you have to split the hours and you have to find timing for the online teaching. Am I right, ma'am? Am I right, Monica?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, I agree. And it's already, they have already decided everything and balanced everything particularly properly. So we can just follow that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Varsha, please explain R1. So I think we have explained it. And skills also need to be included in ACP. Yes, of course, madam has already said the integration of skills. For science subjects, what are the skills need to be included in weekly breakup? It is clearly, it is there in the curriculum document for science. What are the skills to be, madam, maybe, if you want further skill, madam, Monica ma'am, what do you say about scientific skills?
Scientific skills, as we mentioned earlier, also it's all about observation and analysis. The student should be able to complete the observe everything. So practically, they should be able to do everything. Ultimately, science is all about whatever we are learning and looking around. So in case they are able to transfer their knowledge into the practical aspects of life, so our purpose is done. Our teaching is successful. So in science only observation and practical knowledge and application, whatever we are teaching them, they should be able to apply it. So that's very important in science.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am, for enriching us. Ma'am, we teach Tamil, Hindi, Sanskrit in our school. Will that work out as R1, R2, R3, or we need to select some other regional language? Of course, you can do Tamil, Hindi, Sanskrit. You can take any of the two, and one foreign language. So it is accepted. So if students don't want to take regional language like Kannada, it is up to the state and all. There is no compulsion from NCF that a student should be forced to take any particular language, but it is compulsory that 2 native language they have to follow and 1 foreign language. Thank you for this wonderful session, ma'am. Again, congratulations to Monica ma'am. How do we ensure student feedback is considered? Monica ma'am.
Student feedback can be considered whenever we are taking the assessments. So that is feedback for us only.
Okay.
While talking to them, definitely while we are interacting with the students, we can ask them the question. They will be able to do this or not. Were they able to understand this or not? But yes, whenever we are taking the assessment, as it is maybe a small chunk, the class test only, so we'll be able to understand. That's a feedback. That's a indirect feedback only. Whenever we are getting to know the student were able to complete 5 questions, 6 questions, or complete 10 questions or not. So this is their feedback. Otherwise, if really interaction with the student is very important, openly you can ask questions from the students, and definitely they'll give the feedback they were able to understand or not.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you all for wonderful guidance. Neerja Manekar, thank you, ma'am. Swapna ma'am is asking for getting more information from extra mail, any formalities. Miss Swapna, you can get in touch with us. We have WhatsApp groups. I am posting my WhatsApp number to the group so that you can contact me. We'll be able to add you so that you can get updates. Then earth science handled by whom? Physics, chemistry, biology, earth science. Any idea, madam? Monica, ma'am, a question about
Science is all about physics.
physics. Okay,
As per my knowledge.
all right. How can we ensure effective development of scientific skills? That also we have, I think, answered. Thank you, including, yes. I think most of the questions are answered. Any more questions? Anybody would like to, give with your input? Thank you for excellent and informative session. Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. And congratulations to Monica ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir. Excellent session. Thank you. How many art periods are necessary for primary and high school students in a week? Art periods, maybe you can give one or two periods compulsorily. One period is enough, I think. Just like physical education you give. Is there any specific rubric mentioned for LSRW skills check? Rubrics we can create, ma'am. There is no specific rubrics. Teachers can create rubrics. Now AI is available. You can just give the prompt command. AI will give you apt and adequate, rubrics for linguistic skills assessment. Allocation of all subjects, everything is explained. Okay. Thank you, Minal. Yes. PE teachers should prepare lesson plan and SCP, of course, but it never happens in most of the cases, in most of the schools. But of course, they are also teachers. They have to have a plan, and it should be submitted, lesson plan and ACP. Uma Shirsha, thank you, ma'am. Biji, thank you. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Any more questions? Very good session, sir. Thank you, Dr. Jalaja. Thank you. Please, those who are not in group, you can get in touch with us. I am again posting my WhatsApp group number to the chat box. 76844. So wonderful session. Thank you. Very informative. Thank you, Monica, ma'am. Biju sir, are you there?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Biju sir, please wind up.
So thank you very much, Monica ma'am, for a wonderful
Thank
session
you, sir.
you have done
Thank you.
today for enriching our BTech educators. And my dear teachers, as we are listening to each webinar, we are understanding that the entire methodology of teaching has been changed from rote learning to experiential learning, competency-based learning, art-integrated learning. So accordingly, as sir was telling, when we prepare the lesson plan also, we have to tune accordingly and give importance to periods like Kaushal Bodh and art-integrated periods also, especially lower classes, so that when we come to 2031, wherein 3 language question paper subjects will be given importance, teachers and children also will be highly well equipped. So thank you very much, ma'am, for today's session. And let's take the day as it was more informative. And hereafter also watch more sessions like this. Keep in touch with BTech. Thank you all. Have a very good night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good night, sir.
Hand is raised. You can unmute, please. Hello. Okay, hope it was by mistake. So we are winding up the session. Thank you, participants, for your active and enthusiastic participation. This video will be shared with you through the mail ID through which you have registered. Keep connected. Have a good night. Good night, Monica, ma'am, Vijay sir. Thank you so much.